7 to 3 question numbered on Leetcode, which is maximize sum of square of digits. Now this question says that you are given two positive integers, num and sum, okay, and then a positive integer n is good if it satisfies both of the following, which is the number of digit in n is exactly num, okay, and second the sum of digits in n is exactly sum. So the square of a score, not the square, but the score of a good integer n is the sum of the squares of digit in n. Okay, that's it. That is clear. Now, what is the main question? Which is return a string denoting the good integer n that achieves the maximum score. If there are multiple possible integers, return the maximum one. And if no such integer exists, you have to return an empty string. Okay, that's right. That's clear. Now, as you can see in the first test case, so number was 2 and sum was 3. So if we see in the two digit numbers, which can range from 10 to 99, which will have some 3, exactly 3, there are available exactly 3 good integers, which are 12, 21 and 30. If you see the square of both 3's, then obviously 12 and 21 will have the same score, because as these both are just the permutation of each other, and obviously because the digits are same, so the sum of square of digit will be the same. For 30 it is 9, and thus the score is maximum for 30, and we will return 30 as a string. And so as other two test cases also. And the third test case is a special edge case, which says that I have num1 but the sum is 10. So in one digit I have available number what, from like 0 to 9, okay, but the sum is 10. So if I would take 9, which is the maximum possible case, it is still less than sum. So in that case it would return the empty string. Okay, so here if we see the intuition is very much clear, as we can see from this second test case, that we have included the 9 first, okay, like the sum was greater than 10 obviously, so like we have included the 9 first, and then the remaining, obviously remaining integer in the sum is 8 now, so we have appended 8. Obviously 89 can also be the another possible good integer. So 89 and 98 are two possible good integer, but obviously the score will be the same again, because these both are again the permutation of each other. So the maximum score is 145, and which is of 98 only. Okay, if I say some smaller number in two digits, it's sum of a square of digit, or we can say the score of that number will be less than 145. Like there can be, I think, very number like with 7. Okay, I think it is a maximum possible case in two good integer. Yeah, we can think in 3 digits maybe with some 17. There can be many more or good options, but if you think a bit greedily, if I want to make my score maximum, I would like to include like larger digits as much as possible. Now larger digits start from like 9, so I would like start from 9 and then go like from 9 to lesser integers to include as per the sum, like jahan tak sum valid hai wahan tak I have to include as much as large possible integers so that my score will be maximum. So this is just thinking greedily. So if I see the approach, this is very much clear. So first is nothing but the test case only, that if I included all 9, okay, num into 9 means all digits are 9. And if it is still coming less than sum, because including all digits as 9 is like the maximum possible number in that scope of number of digits. So if it is still coming less than sum, then we have to return the empty string, because that's not possible to make a number equal to sum with exactly num digits. Then second thing, okay, I'm forming here the string builder as in Java. So if sum is less than 10, okay, then in that case what is happening, I'm appending firstly the sum is the sum which is a single integer, obviously less than 10, because that will be the maximum possible number. Because as you can see in the example number 1, I have the num2 and I have the sum as 3, right? Now I haven't got 3 good integer 12, 21 and 13, and the sum was less than 10, right? You can take like as many of the number, But if you will take that, because if you will include that some integer with all other integers as zero, all other remaining integers as zero, then obviously the sum will be that sum only. And if you will see, the square of that number will be the maximum possible. So you can also like think about other test cases also to test this particular intuition. So firstly appending that integer sum, which is the integer exactly, and then for the remaining digits appending the 0. Then for the case of sum greater than 10, in that case, firstly I'm calculating how many times the 9 will be added, because I'm thinking greedily. Okay, I have to include as much as 9 possible. So I will include like how many times I will append the 9 into my string. Okay, and then in the second line I'm saying what is the remainder, like what the because okay जितनी बार ना इंक्लूड करना था, बट अगेन उस सम में कुछ अगर कुछ रिमाइंडर रह गया है टू सेटिस्फाई द होल सम, देन इट इज अ रिमाइंडर. ओके, सो times jitna I have to append the 9, and then if remainder is greater than 0, then string builder will be appending the remainder. Now, if remainder is greater than 0, yes, like in the second test case, if you would divide 17 by 9, you would get 8, right? So you will append the 8 at last. And 9 will be added only one time because it can occupy the 17 as a whole only one time. And then the remainder will be 8. So it will be appended to 9. But obviously, if remainder is 0, then there is no point to append the remainder, because suppose if here would be 18, right? So we can include two full nines, like 9 two times. And if my digit is also 2, then remainder is 0, but I cannot append the 0 because then it will obviously exceed the number of digits, right? So I have to see if remainder is greater than 0 or not. And then in the last, I can just include the zeros to satisfy the remaining digits to complete the whole num which is given in the question. So remaining digits we can calculate like by simple intuition. If remainder is greater than 0, then it will be equal to num minus times plus 1 jitna, because times is actually how many time I have included 9. 1 is actually for the remainder, and then num is whole number of digits. So it's obvious to think that take difference of this will get me the remaining digits. That is still to append to the number to complete the digits. And obviously if remainder is 0, then the remaining digits will be num minus times. That's it. And then जितने भी remaining digits हैं, that much I will append the 0 in the string builder, and then I will return that string builder, converting to string as the return type of this function is a string. So this is how we use the greedy approach in this particular question. And the time complexity would be big of sum divided by 9 in the worst case, because if the remainder is 0 and the sum is being like wholly divided by the 9, then how much times I'm including the 9 is actually like here traversing the for loop. Okay, so this will be like equal to sum divided by 9. Okay. And yes, the remaining that much like remaining digits jitna also, but this is like so much rough because but it would be included only when remaining digits is something greater than 0. If it is 0, then obviously this for loop will not be executed. So like yeah, if remaining digits is greater than 0, then it can also be included. So this is the whole